The Fantasy Football Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100, and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Thanksgiving Free Roll. Everyone who hits a football bingo in our contest will win $100 cash and a $100 gift card to the SGPN store, exclusively on the SGPN app. And welcome in to the Fantasy Football Podcast presented by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me is the TD King, Mr. Andrew Raub. How are we doing, sir?
Fantastic, man. A weird day of games, kind of slow, and then they picked up a little bit. Fantasy's going good, betting's going good, so it's a good week 11.
Yeah, fantasy's been going good. I've been taking the week off of betting because in Maryland, we're getting it legalized. So on the 23rd, I'm going to be able to actually hit the books. I don't have to go through the offshores. So really no point to put any more money into there. But enjoying tonight's game so far. Got Mahomes driving here at his own 25. Hopefully they can get some points on this one.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some Kelsey.
Touchdown. Yeah.
Oh, there goes Kelsey. I was asking for it. There it is. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, overall been a pretty good day in fantasy. We know we have some weird injuries that came up. We'll get to those here soon. We are back to do our instant analysis of week 11 with our instant reactions. Where do you want to start here? Top of the card, bottom of the card?
Let's do the ones that recently ended.
You want to start with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. What was your big takeaway from this one? Other than, Joe Mixon owners were in trouble.
Oh, yes, I know. Joe Mixon going down, not good. That was a concussion, I think I saw. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But obviously, Samaje Perine is probably the guy to go get on the waiver wire. I already started checking my waiver wires for him, and surprisingly, half of the people that I play with already have this man on their roster. So that kind of sucks a little bit. But he's definitely going to be the guy to go get. My biggest takeaway is Joe Burrow, just awesome. He can do it all through the air if they really need to. They don't need to run on or lean on the run game. And, George Pickens could have had a massive day if he didn't drop a surefire touchdown towards the end of the game. So I feel really good about Pickens going forward.
How do we feel about Tyler Boyd? Only 2 catches for 42 yards, was a popular target in the underdog and battle royales that we were talking about for this week. Higgins just had a big booming week. Are you still trusting Tyler Boyd going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think he had it's either 6 or 7 targets on the day. They just kept missing him. There was 2 that he should have caught and that he didn't. So he could have had a better day for fantasy and PPR anyway. So yeah, I'm still trusting him moving forward until Jamar Chase is back. Then he's probably back to the bench a little bit. Even though it was crazy, he was doing much better when Jamar Chase and Higgins were out there. He was getting in. He would get all the shit coverage and capitalize on it. So maybe you continue playing him even when Chase does come back, but I would say moving forward, I'm definitely going to keep starting him.
Yeah, still a very good situation. You saw Burrow throw the ball 39 times in this game.
Especially if Mixon's out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. God, I really hope I don't have to go through that either. I did load up with an extra running back at the trade deadline. I went and trade for Donta Foreman, but he came back down to earth today, so it doesn't bode the most confidence going forward. Najee Harris, big boost, looking good going forward. It feels like a couple of good weeks of output, some good production here. 90 rushing yards this week, 82 last week, 2 rushing touchdowns this week in a game where Kenny Pickett didn't look too bad. Threw the ball 42 times, 265 passing yards and a passing touchdown, and no interceptions. Bengals, defense, secondary, not world beaters, but still a pretty good performance. Got the ball to Pat Freiermuth 8 times, 8 for 79. Those or not Pickett, but Harris and Freiermuth feel like good starts going forward. Deontay Johnson just 4 for 21, boomer bust.
Yeah, I agree. Deontay is going to be hard to trust moving forward. I mean, he just isn't getting the target share. It's going to Pickens, it's going to Freiermuth. So yeah, that's it. He's going to be tough moving forward. It was nice. The thing I really liked about Najee Harris today was the carries. 20 carries. That's encouraging. I'm still maybe if you can still trade in your leagues, I potentially could trade him away for something else. I don't really like Najee Harris. I just don't like the offense for our running back right now, especially with that offensive line. So if you can still trade in your league, if your trade deadline has not passed, I would potentially consider trading him off this good game. You obviously don't have to do that because the usage is encouraging, but I don't believe that he's going to have this moving forward.
I really need it moving forward, bud.
Sorry,
we could just change that around. No, I mean, I bought in on him a couple weeks before the deadline, hoping for a second half turnaround. So I'm hoping I continue to see what I've seen the past couple of weeks here. Was Jalen Warren just hurt? Did he not play? He got 1 catch for 9 yards, but no carries.
No, yeah, I did not see him in the game very often. He was in there. I didn't see him get hurt, so if he did, I missed that. But it is so I don't know, a little odd.
Definitely disappointing for people that went out and grabbed him off like the bye weeks and off the waivers and whatnot. So
yeah,
not too appetizing.
That's pretty much I got from this game here.
All right, next up we got Cowboys and the Vikings. Where did the Vikings go? What happened?
Oh, I mean,
we had Kirk Cousins in our interception prop from the fantasy lounge this morning. He didn't get us an interception, but man, he didn't do much else either. Like 12 for 23, 105 yards. I mean, what do you make of this pitfall of the Vikings here?
Oh man, this was coming, man. They're frauds. They should have lost to Washington. There was multiple games they should have lost that they barely. Buffalo, Washington, just to name 2 off the top of my head. Like they should have lost those games. I knew that this was coming. Vegas was begging you to bet Vikings plus the points. Like my buddy had texted me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "You want to bet the Vikings with me?" I was like, "Absolutely not."
With you?
No. Yeah. We do like we throw money in a pot and we bet different games together and split the pot, stuff like that, just to bounce ideas off each other.
He's like coming to you for fundraising.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. He's like, "What do you think about this? And do you want to throw money on it with me?" And he asked me about the Vikings. I was like, "Absolutely not, man." I was like, "This line is fishy. We are not betting the Vikings."
Do you want to buy a boat?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, "Nah, it ain't happening." And so I knew this was coming. I didn't think that they were going to lose by 37 points by any means, but
gosh,
I did know that this was going to come at some point. It's like the Vikings are. You shut down Justin Jefferson, you shut down the offense. Like they cannot move the ball without getting him involved, and he was most certainly not involved today. I mean, 3 for 33. That's not typical JJ. So, obviously you don't want to overreact too much to this. They're not going to always have to play a pretty good Cowboys defense every week. I still think Cook, Jefferson, Hawkinson are going to be fine. Again, I'm not an Adam Thielen guy, so I always love when he struggles. But I mean, outside of that, I don't really have too much else to say about the Vikings. I mean, you can still start them moving forward. Kirk Cousins is, he is what he is. Oh, Travis Kelce caught a touchdown. Awesome.
I was about to tell you after your take there.
Oh yeah, I just got the alert. That's awesome. On the Cowboys side, man, I don't know why they pull out Zeke from the bench. Like, let this man on the damn bench for fuck's sake. I can't.
He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, of course. When you put him in and he's 400 pounds and he's running from the 3-yard line, of course he's going to get it. I mean, this man is.
You make him sound like he's Eddie Lacy.
Oh God,
like, come on,
Eddie Lacy. Man, that's on. It's just like Tony Pollard is so much better of a running back at this point in both their careers, right? Like it's just,
right.
I don't know why you have to put in Zeke. And again, if you want to use him as like a Brandon Jacobs-esque, a little bowling ball when you're by the goal line, I get that, I do. But
they still prioritize Pollard. He had 21 touches to Zeke's 16. I mean, he was still the guy. How many more touches you want Pollard to get?
I want him to get half of those other ones that Zeke got. I mean, they split the carries evenly, 15 and 15.
He's the next Saquon Barkley. It's Tony Pollard.
He's just
get him 35 touches. I get it. Yeah, but you can't be explosive down the stretch if you're constantly taking 35 touches a game.
I guess. I don't know. It's just so annoying.
How many lineups did you have Pollard in this week?
Oh man, I did have him in a couple of underdog battle royales, which I cashed on all of them, so that was nice. But it's just, again, if you can trade in your league, go trade Zeke if you have him for just don't even roll this man out. Like I just don't get it. I really don't. Pollard's so much better. Again, I like to see the Cowboys struggle, and they obviously don't do that when Pollard's in there. So I don't know. It is what it is. But they both had good days. Pollard caught, I think, his longest touchdown ever, 68 yards, I believe. So that that was awesome for him today. Pollard just exploded. CeeDee Lamb struggled a little bit. He could have a better day. I think he had 2 catches that were both called back on stupid penalties as well.
He had a long one for 27 though. He had a big gainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just 5 for 45. You'd like to see him hit the 70-75 mark at least.
I like to see him find pay dirt. I have him and Dak stacked in a league. I would have liked to seen pay dirt there since
Yep.
Pollard just wanted to eat up all the production in this game. And I like that. I mean, I like to see what I'm getting out of Tony Pollard. You're never really, benching him. Clearly, even when Zeke is healthy, he's going to be the priority here going forward. Dallas has caught on that he's the better talent, whether it was the injury, whether it was him just, having more efficient, touches with the ball. He's clearly the better guy. I don't like him leading the team in passing, all right, or in receiving, excuse me. I would prefer that to be CeeDee Lamb. Any love here for Michael Gallup or Noah Brown going forward? Noah Brown, did he have that? Yeah, that 35 long one went inside the red zone, right?
Yes.
When I saw it was getting reviewed, I think.
Yeah, he caught that then. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to start either of these guys moving forward. If you're in a pinch, I think I'd rather start Gallup only because I think Dak would favor Gallup over Noah Brown. There's a little bit of chemistry there between those two. So I'd probably favor him, but I don't want to start either, and I don't recommend anybody do that. The other guy I want to mention that had a down game, but had 2 targets in the red zone that both could have been touchdowns, but he was overthrown is Dalton Schultz. Down game for him, 3 for 22. He's been, pretty good the past couple weeks. He had 2 targets, both in the end zone, both overthrown. So, is what it is there, but he could have had a very big day.
Yeah, I was just about to go to him next. I mean, you're still playing the tight end game with Dalton
Yes,
Schultz. There's nothing
100%.
there's nothing guaranteed there. You still want to roll him out in a good matchup. This I felt like would have been a good matchup for him to at least, get a touchdown. Wasn't the case.
Yep.
Just that big Tony Pollard day. What are you going to do? Running into trouble. Running into Tony Pollard. Raiders, Broncos, Derek Carr threw for 2 passing touchdowns today. No interceptions. Boo. Boo. We had him for the one. We had him for the 1 interception. Yeah, I saw that one at the end of the game.
Yeah, he tried.
The tip pass by Jacobs. Now that's someone who's looking good. I mean, Derek Carr, like, these games are coming. You know what I mean? I wasn't buying into Russell Wilson this week. You and I talked about it. Wasn't buying into Denver. Wasn't on it. Thank goodness. I mean, really, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. What else are you trusting going forward? I know that you and I at least I think you did too. We got caught holding the bag for Foster Moreau this week.
Yeah, I didn't play him. I did play him in some DFS. I just
Okay.
thought, again, like he should be more involved. And when they did get him the ball once, he went for 33 yards. I mean, like, get this man 5 or 6 targets a week. I mean, he's not a bad tight end. He's a good fillable, tight end here. So, and luckily I don't have to start him in any of my redraft leagues or anything like that. But I did play him in DFS, and obviously disappointing. But you're right. Jacobs, Adams, those are the guys you want to start. Mac Hollins, if you're in a pinch, he's always getting targets.
Last week it didn't work out. I'll tell you that.
No, you're. That's why I said if you're in a pinch.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough to trust any of those guys outside of Adams and Jacobs. And honestly, I still feel like you don't trust Derek Carr going forward because this is one of the weeks where, he brings your confidence up. I have no idea who they're playing next week, but I assure you he'll let you down. This is what he's been doing all year long. I really just hope he does well enough to keep this Devontae Adams stock afloat. I would like to see him continue to flow in the direction of 7 catches, 140 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Please and thank you. Cortland Sutton, Kendall Hinton led the way, Cortland Sutton and Greg Dulcich, 4 for 30. Again, this is mediocre tight end play against the Raiders. Everyone keeps talking about, start the tight end against the Raiders. Do it. It's a great matchup. It's not working out, guys. Got it. I mean, it's not working. Evan Ingram, Greg Dulcich. It's not working out. Like, come on. Sutton though, 5 for 80. Pretty mediocre, I'd say, for Jerry being out and everybody, being beaten up. No.
Yeah, a little bit. They were definitely pedestrian, but Russ kind of slung it around to everybody today. I don't know if you look at the receiving, shares here, but
Murray had
5
4
3,
catches
5
too.
4 4 2 1. Like, yeah, it was just all over the place. So I still feel good about Sutton going forward. He's obviously the guy, and as long as Jerry Jeudy's out, I mean, you can't really sit Sutton unless you're in a great predicament because I mean he's going to get the majority of the targets if possible. I think the thing that everyone really needs to know about though is the rushing game on here. Like I wrote about this a few weeks back in my waiver wire article that Latavius Murray is still going to be the guy moving forward that you want to have on your team if you do want to play one of these running backs. And 17 carries. I mean, it's not pretty by any means. I mean, 17 for 49, but he's the guy at the goal line. Chase Edmonds got hurt today as well. So that just clears a little bit more space. But and Melvin Gordon fumbled. As usual, Melvin Gordon fumbled the ball. So Latavius Murray is going to be the guy moving forward. If he's still out there in your waiver wire and you need a running back to play or at least have a little bit of depth on your bench, I would suggest Latavius Murray.
I'm staying away from all of them. If you can get off of Cortland Sutton, I would sell him tonight. If tonight's your deadline, get out there and make a deal. Because no thanks. I want to get off all the Broncos.
Sutton or Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis. I'll just take the booming potential. Screw it. Especially if I can afford it, right? If I can, play the matchup game into the playoffs, and then I get a couple of big performances in the playoffs from him. Woohoo! Great. I'll take that. I just don't trust the Broncos going forward. I haven't trusted Russell Wilson preseason anytime this year. Not at all. Don't love it. Don't love that scenario. Don't trust Derek Carr that much more though either. So just fair comparison. Commandos, Texans, take it away.
Great team win.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. We put out for those of you who don't follow already or are subscribed to it, we put out a newsletter with our best bets every Friday morning. So hop on the SGPN app, get signed up for that. We gave out a bunch of winners today, and my best bet was obviously Commanders -3. Took that for big money earlier in the week. Felt really good about it. There was literally no sweat to it. Commanders good team win. No sweat. And I mean, the thing is, the Commanders, I think they're a team that you really, really, really don't want to start a running back against. I mean, today, Dameon Pierce, 8 rushing yards. 8 rushing yards. Let me know when a team does that to Dameon Pierce again. He's been, great all year long. So, defense is rocking and rolling.
Did they get Chase back this week? Did he play today?
He did not. He's probably going to be I believe he has to be activated next week. So,
gotcha.
So that was all without Chase. I think they did 5 sacks, I believe today, 5 or 6. So, good team win, but I'll stop touting on the team here. 1-5 out of 6, by the way, just to throw that out there one more time. But, for the offense, it's going to be a weird scenario with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson moving forward, right? Like, this should have been a Brian Robinson game. They were up. They should have leaned on him just to run the ball like they did last week. And what they do, they brought in Antonio Gibson and let him run the ball a bazillion times. Like, it was so frustrating as a fantasy owner of both of these guys because I didn't play a whole lot of Gibson because I had better options, and he ended up having a pretty good day. And I played Brian Robinson in a couple of leagues. Like, all right, man, they're going to give him it 22, 23 times, right? And nope, sure didn't. So I have no idea what the hell Ron Rivera is doing with this running core. I really don't. I mean, it's working for him, so it's fine as a fan, but as a fantasy manager, it's really tough to trust either one of these guys moving forward, right? It just is what it is. Receiving though, Logan Thomas, best, the best week he's had. I'm not, telling you guys to go pick him up by any means, but he wouldn't be a bad guy to stick on your bench as a tight end. I mean, the tight end
play the game.
Yeah, tight end landscape is a wasteland. So, you never know. He's probably out there in a majority of the leagues. He's somebody that you could definitely go get if you want to. Terry McLaurin, kind of down day, 4 for 55. He was still targeted, I believe, 7 times. So, that's always encouraging to see. Heineke's always laser focused on him. He loves Terry. So, that's a guy that you definitely want to start moving forward. Outside of that, I don't really think you can start anybody else on here. Jahan Dotson, since he's come back from injury, has had a very low target share. Curtis Samuel's boomer bust. He's like Gabe Davis. He's either going to have a really good day or he's going to fall flat on his face. I mean, he had 1 for 10 and a carry for a touchdown. So that touchdown saved his day. But without that, you would have hated having him in your lineup. So, is what it is. But what are your thoughts on my Manders here?
Mandos did good. They gave the ball to Antonio Gibson a lot. I like that from a football perspective. I mean, I don't really own either of those guys in any format. So, go them. I don't, it doesn't bother me any. I felt you would have been upset about Curtis Samuel stealing a rushing touchdown. What's that all nonsense about? Come on now.
I know they do these gadget plays, and they really only started to hone in on these things a few weeks ago. And now every week they're doing at least 3 or 4 of them where they do the same formation where they line him up in the slot and then have him run across, in front of the quarterback before they hike the ball. And they either throw it to him, he gets the direct snap, or he was just a decoy in the play. So, it's always hit or miss with what what he's going to do, but they're doing those gadget plays more, and it's interesting. It's like they went to the playbook and just kind of threw out a bunch of pages or wrote a bunch of new ones a few weeks ago, and it's working. So I can't complain as a fan, but fantasy managers, it's a tough go of it sometimes.
Well, Gibson had 21 touches this game. I'm going to just guess that these guys are going to kind of ping pong in that aspect of the volume. Probably see Robinson have a little bit more next week. Just go back and forth between those two, unless we see an injury. I mean, I feel like they both have to be owned. I think you're starting, probably starting both of them given the volume. I mean, did Robinson? No, he didn't have any catches, but Gibson had 3, and he had also 18 rushing attempts. So, I mean, we've been saying he should be the priority, and now he's the priority. I don't know why you're upset about that. We both said he's better for the team.
He is definitely. It's just God. Yeah. It's so hard to start either one of them and feel really good about it because at any given moment the other one can just vulture all the touches, the touchdowns, everything else. So
Right.
it is what it is. But we'll see moving forward. As far as I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, the same situation is going to be in the passing game next week when they get an easier matchup. I mean, Houston still, coming into this game didn't allow many fantasy points to the wide receiver position. So not really surprising that Terry was held in check some. Pretty on par for what I was looking at this week. I said he was go anywhere from 5 catches for 70 to 80 receiving yards. So not too far off. I mean, would have liked to seen more yardage from him. Maybe a couple big splash plays or at least one. He only had his longest catch was for 19 yards, but Logan Thomas was the same. And nothing from, the Texans other than pivot off the Texans. Don't start Texans other than Dameon Pierce. I mean, this was a down week. I think this was like the exception of the rule here for Dameon Pierce, right? Like,
Yep.
Any matchup you can think of going forward where you're just like, you know what? Not this week. I'll bench him. Like,
no, not really. Again, like the Commanders just have a really good front seven. So it's just, I mean, and they're doing this week in and week out now. It's like you kind of want to really not play the running back against Washington right now. I was thinking, I wonder what it would have paid if you could have found odds on Davis Mills to have more rushing yards than Dameon Pierce today. Because he did. He had 2 more rushing yards, which is just insane. Just when I saw that stat at the end of the game, and again, I played Dameon Pierce. I had to in a couple of leagues, and it was just so disappointing to see 8 rushing yards. Like that's tough to do to a running back.
You want to talk about disappointing? How about this Panthers and Ravens game? My goodness. We were talking about points this morning, Andrew. Points. We were talking about a blowout. I mean, 10-point deficit, but my God, like this was bad. Baker Mayfield, 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 1 interception, no passing touchdowns. Did finish with a rushing touchdown. But come on, Lamar Jackson, 11 for 31. Come on. He runs the ball 11 times, and you're telling me he's only getting 31 yards. What reality are we in? That's the question that I'm asking in response. Foreman, Hubbard, that little period there. C. Hubbard, also known as Chubbard. This running game didn't do anything. Foreman actually had a carry 1 for 10, and then the rest of the game he went 10 for 14. Ouch.
Yeah, disappointing.
Ouch. Devin Duvernay, also very disappointing. Demarcus Robinson, I mean, he's been around, but 9 for 128. I mean, he had 128 of 209 passing yards. What? Where did this come from? I hated this game so much.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked.
It's nice to see Mark Andrews do some stuff. He's healthy. He's 6 for 63. Nice to see him back. But why is Demarcus Robinson getting his touches? Super frustrating. Plus, they started Donta Foreman. I knew he wasn't going to have as many touches as last week, but my God, come on. Very frustrating game. I feel like we're still starting a lot of these guys going forward. Kenyon Drake had a good week. Definitely starting Mark Andrews, but are you starting Demarcus Robinson going forward? Are you starting DJ Moore next week?
Oh, man.
Plead the fifth.
I don't want to be honest. I mean,
why do it?
I think what's going to happen, right, with the Ravens is the moment you start Demarcus Robinson, it's going to be Duvernay has a big game, or it's going to be Andrews comes back and has a really nice game. I don't think you can trust Demarcus Robinson moving forward. I don't think he would be a terrible guy to have on your bench if you have an extra spot, or just have somebody shitty on your roster that you want to get rid of and fill somebody else in that has potential. I mean, I literally just dropped Demarcus Robinson last week in a league because he wasn't doing anything. I picked him up and nothing. And then this,
right.
So I mean,
I did the same thing, but it was in a 20-man league.
Jesus.
And he wasn't doing anything on the bench. So I'm just like, all right, I'll see you. And I dropped him. I did the same thing. So I was like, man, what the hell?
Same thing with DJ Moore. If as long as Baker's in there, you can leave him on the bench. I mean, there's really not a good spot
Okay.
for him to,
Okay.
to come in and play here. Terrace Marshall, man, I'll tell you what, that dude's pretty good at football. If they would get him more targets, I think he would have even better days. Like he's pretty damn good. And you know, it's unfortunate that they just have shit quarterbacks there. So is what
Mhm.
it is for him. But you know, that's another guy, a candidate for a waiver wire for me. That you know, if you need some help, he's a guy that's at least getting targets, and he does get some red zone looks as well. You know, that's always encouraging to have on your bench. So but I mean, honestly, I don't want to start any Panthers if I don't really have to. And the only Ravens I really want to start, besides Jackson and Andrews, is potentially Kenyon Drake. I mean, he still seems to be the lead guy, even though
Mhm.
you know obviously Lamar Jackson had more rush attempts than he did. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, man, I don't really have too much else in this game. This game was just awful to watch.
Yeah, not a fan of it whatsoever. Definitely wanted some more help out of the fantasy atmosphere there. All right, let's pay some bills really quick here. Are you ready to win money and boost your odds? WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. We're bringing the excitement of Win Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips with Win Rewards on WinBet. Be on the lookout for the WinBet Win Hour each week, every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. During the WinBet Win Hour, marquee games of the week will have better odds on WinBet, giving you a larger payout opportunity. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WinBet. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WinBet has what you need to win. Ready to play? Sign up today and receive a special offer. Bet 100, win 100. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet so they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. What's going on in this Chargers Kansas City game? Is Mike Williams or Keenan Allen doing anything?
I think Mike Williams did have a catch for 20 yards or something like that, I believe, and
As
I
one,
did see Keenan Allen had a catch as well.
they are both suboptimal.
And
Ugh.
oh, there goes Austin Eckler.
One
Oh
for
no.
17 for Allen, Williams 1 for 15. And we're at the Kansas City 4. Maybe we get a touchdown from Mike Williams. That'd be super dope. Appreciate that. Since I'm going up against Herbert, I benched Keenan Allen for Greg Dulcich. We'll see how that works out. Because the matchup's going to be so good. Killing me. All right, next up we got the Lions and the Giants. Not much out of Jared Goff today. We needed that interception, did not get it. Dan Jones threw a few, and the Giants, kind of, came back down to earth, losing at home to the Lions, who have played terrible on the road all year. The biggest riddle out of this game is, starting the Detroit running backs going. What's that?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were talking about Saquon Barkley.
No, it was definitely the running game for the Lions. I mean, how the hell are we going to figure out which one of these guys to start? We were telling people earlier to start Jamal over DeAndre Swift, and that was obviously correct. But I'm sure there was people that we told, to start over Swift, and he scored a touchdown, and they probably didn't. So you know what I mean? Like it's super tough to gauge here. Justin Jackson had 9 carries. What's that all about? Come on now, like what? He had more carries than DeAndre Swift, and DeAndre Swift scored a touchdown. Boo. Boo you, the Lions. They scored 31 points, and Jared Goff didn't even throw a touchdown. It's driving me crazy. Monroe St. Brown, solid day. You're not really starting any of these other guys. Khalif Raymond, Bobby Wright, Kennedy. What do you think about Justin Jackson? He had 10 touches.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's fluky, right? I mean,
I hope.
do they really just not want to have DeAndre Swift get hurt? Like, what's going on here,
bro? I don't know. I mean,
mean,
it feels like the touchdowns that he's getting are like here you go, just like here you go. This will keep him quiet. It's like, just like, here you go, pal. Like here's a gifted touchdown for you. Because man, I mean, Justin Jackson didn't look that bad, but I just don't get it. Like, why is he being prioritized? Why is Jamal Williams? Great story this season. If you're going to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch, let the big dogs eat. I love it. I've been loving what I've been seeing from him this year. Everything from Hard Knocks to leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns. It's great, but he's not very efficient. He wasn't very efficient today. Was it 17 for 60 something?
Yeah, 64 and 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
it's not very good. It's not very good at all. But he had 3 touchdowns. Like, come on, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
You trust him the most. You trust Amon-Ra right after that. And I mean, because Hawkinson's not there, you just kind of have to believe that both of those guys are going to have a steady floor. But man, Swift is a tough start. He's a tough start going forward. You know, again, nice they had the touchdown this week, but I just don't think that we're going to be able to count on that.
No, yeah, and honestly, I trust Amra the most out of anybody on this team. You know, just because of his target share.
Why?
I mean,
Why? Jamal leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. I mean, he has a clear role.
he does. Yeah, no. I mean, definitely. I think moving forward, like they really want to get. Amra hasn't scored a damn touchdown, and I can't even tell you how long. Like I think they tried to get him like 2 touchdowns today. He came down very close to the goal line both times. It's so agitating because as a heavily manager of Amon St. Brown, like I need him to start getting some touchdowns here, damn it. But yeah, I think, you know, I trust him a little bit more just because his role is extremely safe in the receiving aspect. Obviously, Jamal Williams is right behind him. I mean, his goal line work is what you trust, right? Like you trust that he's going to be the guy when they get there.
Well, just the red zone in general. I mean, I trust that when they get down there, that Jamal is going to be the priority. I mean, when Swift did have his touchdown, they were already up by 2 scores. They were up by like 12 points, I think, 3 scores.
Yeah.
So at that point, like, what do we? I mean, it's. I don't know. Again, it feels like he's getting some favors, at least to kind of get some production. I don't know. Am I crazy to think that they're going to try to move him in the offseason?
I mean, I don't see why they would.
He can't be happy. His people got to be like, Eckler for a 1 yard. Man,
I know that sucks.
It's always where I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, just I'm gonna win that matchup anyways. I don't need Eckler to. Yeah, I needed Mike Williams to rush for a touchdown. Come on, get it together.
How
about Wandell? How about Wandell in this one, huh?
He was awesome, and then he got hurt again.
Where did that come from? Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah. He's out. He left the game. He was awesome and then got hurt.
All right. Well, the Darius Slayton party, it goes on. We're not going home. We're going to keep riding him out. 5 for 86 today. You know, we gave him as a pretty reliable start in today's fantasy lounge and yesterday's preview. So I feel really good about him going forward. Still getting that high A dot. Wandell, I mean, he was cleaning up, but I mean, if he's hurt, not worried about Kenny Golladay, not worried about Richie James Jr.
Yep. Barkley, obviously you can't overreact to Barkley. You're just starting him no matter what, but 15 for 22. And I think he had two receptions. It's just, it
not
made
enough
no
touches.
Sense.
Not enough touches.
No
because he just had 30 plus touches, 35 plus touches.
Give the man 30 more. What the hell are you doing? I mean, you're in the hunt for the playoffs, right? Like,
this is why they don't let us coach. This is why we are here.
It's just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what are you doing? Barkley should have had a massive day. He should have feasted on the Lions. And you give this man 15 carries. That's it.
Boo!
And what the hell is Matt Breida doing in there at the goal line, taking that touchdown away from
Barkley? The flag.
I mean, come on, man. Matt Breida, get out of here with that nonsense. It's just horseshit. Him and Daniel Jones both took the 2 touchdowns that Barkley should have had. It just sucks. Yeah. Obviously, can't overreact to that. But biggest thing, can't start Daniel Jones. And obviously with Wandale being hurt, if he comes back next week, startable. If not, Darius Slayton's probably the only guy I'd actually want to start outside of Saquon.
Yeah, hopefully they play indoors somewhere soon, so Slayton can have a little bit higher upside. 5 for 86, not too bad though.
They do play indoors next week during Thanksgiving. Giants play the old Cowgirls.
Cowgirls should put up a lot of points today. Calm down, all right? Jeez, you got all that Commandos, equipment behind you there. Sorry, that's a football team shirt. My bad. Football team.
No. This is Redskins, man. This is Sean Taylor
behind you.
Oh, behind me. Oh, yeah. This one. An old cream dog back here.
No, cream dog. Little cream dog. All right. Saints, Rams. Dinky, too. I didn't like this game either. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fun to see Andy Dalton throw 3 passing touchdowns. We were big on Chris Olave this morning in yesterday's preview show, etc. Someone that we were really high on, 5 for 102. Second in the league in air yards. We brought this up. Juwan Johnson. I mean, the savior, Juwan Johnson for Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz owners. Thank you, Juwan Johnson. 3 for 47 and a receiving touchdown. I'm not overreacting to Jarvis Landry. I probably am not going to be starting him going forward. I would like to see Adam Troutman not do as much and Juwan Johnson do some more stuff. Really cool, like touchdowns. More touchdowns for Juwan Johnson, please. The Rams, I hate them. I absolutely hate the Rams.
Yep. It was weird, right? Like you saw some Taysom Hill this week. Didn't really see him the last couple weeks too much, and then he had 9 carries for 52 yards. I mean that's nothing. You know,
not nothing.
Yeah,
not nothing.
So yeah, I mean, and he had 3 pass attempts as well. Only had one, and a catch. So interesting Taysom Hill usage. I mean, you never know moving forward what the hell you're going to get with that man. So it's really hard to start him. But if he's still tight end eligible, not a terrible guy to have sitting on your bench there. Just throwing that out there, food for thought. Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara had a pretty good, pretty decent day for PPR. He almost had a touchdown as well, so his day would have been a lot better. Yeah, I mean, not too much else to say about the Saints. I'll tell you one thing that everyone was wrong on was Mr. Old Ben Skowronek, or however heck you want to say his last name.
Ben Skowronek.
Skowronek, yeah, Skowronek.
Terrible. You were in that group too.
4. I didn't start him. Luckily, I didn't have to in any redrafts. But it's like people were like, "Hey, should I start him?" I'm like, I mean, he should have some targets, right? He sure as hell didn't.
I believe the one place I started him, I'm going to win, but I could have put up a 0 in that spot, and I would have won.
It's just like, dude, what the like Tutu Atwell?
Who did I start him over? Let me see here, because I think it was Njoku. Yeah, Njoku didn't do that much better. 2 for 17, and then I also started him over Alec Pierce, 3 for 28. Justin Watson, who does have a catch, we talked about him, and then Kendall Hinton was probably been the best option, and he was 3 for 57. We didn't really talk much about him, but I mean, not really someone we're confident about going forward.
No,
but you know what I mean. Like, I mean, he's in that group. Like, you're taking a flyer on him regardless. Just kind of felt like, though, from his and Stafford's chemistry early on in the season, yeah, he would have been used a little bit more. Trying to see what else here. Hate the run game. Perkins is getting carries, 5 for 39. Kyrene, 7 for 36. Akers, you don't trust any of these guys. Darrell Henderson is dead in the water. Man, Tutu Atwell stealing that bomb. Just,
I know.
What the hell? I mean, they put his name up on the board as Chatarius, and I was like, who the hell is Chatarius? Who is that? I was like, oh, it's Tutu Atwell. My bad. I was like, they can't even call him Tutu. This is really disappointing. This is not the great experience that I was looking for out of this game. Tyler Higbee, 4 for 45. Again, you're playing the tight end game there. I'd rather start Juwan Johnson at this point. The touchdown upside is just there for him.
Yeah. I mean, no argument. I do think Higbee has a better target share in his offense. Less mouths to feed in the Rams, but yeah, I mean, I can't really defend Higbee too much over Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I mean, another one of these games, I don't know. It was kind of boring to watch a little bit. I mean, I know there's 47 points. Yeah, there's 47 points put up, but it just wasn't very good. Yeah, I mean, who on the Rams do you really trust to start moving forward outside of Higbee? Because you have to.
I started this segment of this game. I don't want any of them. I want off of all of them. No thanks. I'm so happy I did that Stafford for Fields trade or whatever, with Hurst and Zay Jones. Like, I was so happy getting off of him. He doesn't look good. He's playing hurt. I still feel like he was pulled from this game. Perkins went 5 for 10 for 64. Like, again, you're not going to know who's going to do what in this offense. Allen Robinson, 4 for 47. I guess he feels like,
Yeah, he's okay moving forward.
Is he though? Like, is he like? Come on, I mean,
what are you starting him as? Your wide receiver 3, a flex maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But again, like he could, leave you holding the bag. I feel like any week. I feel like he is very goose egg candidate. The same as Tyler Higbee, the same as Van Jefferson. Like, we were talking up Ben Skowronek this morning. It hasn't been 24 hours. Okay. Like, I mean, and if you thought that game was boring, my God, what you thought of the Patriots and the Jets. I don't care if you say like you like old time football, grind it out, defense. No, this was garbage. This was absolute garbage. How did Mac Jones pass for almost 250 yards, 246 passing yards, no touchdowns. They get the only touchdown on a kick return to end the game, a meaningless kick, essentially a meaningless punt return. Neither team could do anything.
It wasn't meaningless for us who started the Patriots defense. All right.
Well, I mean, the Patriots and the Bills defense, like in DFS, like what other defense are you starting? Is there any other defense that's
Oh,
averaging double
Washington.
digit? Are they
Washington
averaging double
scored.
digit?
I mean,
Well,
over the last couple of weeks, they are. They just scored 22 today.
okay, well that's pretty solid. This week is a good matchup for that,
Yep.
Houston. But I don't think people are starting them at high percentages against the Eagles.
No, that's very true. Yes. But yeah, I mean, it just this was the worst one out of any of them to watch, just because
Boo
it was
this
just like,
game.
oh, okay, here we go. We're gonna get some up. No, 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 punt.
Somehow, Stevenson and Myers were able to like have some minute fantasy relevancy, which was a saving grace for me. Damian Harris, how dare you? How dare you come back and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm still here. 8 for 65. You son of a bitch.
It's
Not
still
fair.
Ramondre's backfield.
15 for 26 for Ramondre. Boo!
Yeah, but 6 for
So
56,
angry.
6 for 56 through the air.
Yeah, I know. It's not like
I'll
I'm sitting
take
him.
that. Yeah.
Are you? I guess the question here is: are you starting Dame Harris? I mean, there's really not many other options other than Myers. Going forward here, him
In
and Stevenson.
standard leagues as a flex, probably, that's not a terrible play, because I do think you can venture some touchdowns potentially, but in PPR, no, he has zero value there. Essentially, I mean, I know he caught 2 for 28 today, but I mean, how many times do you see him catch ball? I mean, it's usually Ramondre Stevenson, right? So I don't think I want to start Damian Harris really in any format, but if I have to, it's really standard, and there's probably not too many standard leagues still remaining out there either. So. But no, I mean, there's really not anybody here besides Ramondre Stevenson that I want to start on this team.
We're not starting either of the quarterbacks going forward. I know we're both on the
No,
same page there.
absolutely not.
But what about Mike? What about Michael Carter or James Robinson? Like, have to feel like this is a matchup situation. I feel like both of them could have relevancy going forward. Definitely Michael Carter. I just don't understand why they didn't include him in the passing game. No, or one catch. I'm sorry, one catch for -2 yards. Like. He can move the ball. He can move the chains. I mean, we've seen it before when he's been given the priority in the offense. I don't get it. And he has that connection with Zach Wilson. And where the hell's Braxton Berrios? Where's the hero here? Like, I don't get it. Like, they didn't do anything creative. Like, where's the random Braxton Berrios touchdown for the Jets? Like, Mims 2 for 35, Elijah 2 for 17. Woo, we got Elijah going. Ty Conklin 2 for 15, Garrett Wilson 2 for 12. Like, it's the most underwhelming performance I've seen. This is a team that beat the Bills. What? How?
The MILF Hunter sucks. He is awful.
He's not very good at football.
Oh my God, he's bad.
Minus 21 yards in the second half.
Yeah, he sucks. He is awful. He had a wide open dude in the backfield and way overthrew him. I'm like, man, he can't be on the football field. He sucks. And I kind of feel like that's what they're doing. Like today, right? Like they ran the ball, but they really wanted to throw the ball, it felt like. And I feel like they're trying to make sure that they know that Zach Wilson is not the quarterback going forward. And they're probably going to make a change after this year. Like, I feel like they're really evaluating him, and that's what they're trying to do. And I don't know. I mean, it's Robert Saleh's face at the end of the game when they let them return that punt return was just so demoralizing. You can see it in his face. He's just like, damn it, my quarterback sucks. This team fucked me. Just so bad. Yeah.
So question. You're Robert Saleh. They're giving you another chance. It's off season. Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. Who are you going after?
Derek Carr, because I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a system quarterback. I think Derek Carr, you can at least rely upon.
Jets would love a systems quarterback right now. They're begging on their knees for a systems quarterback right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he just fits that system. I don't know. I guess either one is okay for them. It's better than Zach Wilson, that's for damn sure. But yeah, man, I don't know. I guess I'll still stick with Carr. I think that he just has a little bit more balls than Jimmy G does. Jimmy G is just a nice face. That's about it.
Take that back. Take that back. Eagles and the Colts, man. I mean, if you had the Colts money line in this one, like such a heartbreaker. Such a heartbreaker. This was their game, man. Like the Eagles, it's like they're a team of destiny. I'm not saying the Colts are great, like it's like some, crazy win, like, overcoming Goliath by any means, but it was an uphill battle for the Eagles the entire way, right? Like 10-3 at half, 13-3 after the third, and then you score 14 points in the fourth to win it. Like, it's gritty football. Hats off. Miles Sanders, you're killing me. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, super safe going forward. I'm not starting any of the tight ends. Didn't get enough confidence from what we saw from them.
You can't.
Well, yeah. I saw Stoll get his first catch. I was like, all right, here we go. It's pretty early in the game. There's room for a couple more. No more catches.
No, can't. You can't trust that.
Yeah. Still love me some Paris Campbell. Michael Pittman starting to offer a bit of a safer floor. I mean, I think you're starting both of those guys based on your roster utility, where you grab them, or not Campbell, but definitely Pittman for sure. But Campbell's been really rock solid. Did he have any carries in this game?
Campbell?
He did not.
Nope.
I think those guys are safe starts going forward, especially with Matt Ryan at the helm.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor. I did not think Jonathan Taylor was going to have a good day. I thought the Eagles were really. I mean, 22 carries. That's a nice utilization. 84 yards and a touchdown. That's a good day. I mean, if you look at the fantasy landscape today for the running backs, it wasn't knock your socks off good by any means. So he at least was up there. But I really thought the Eagles were going to make sure that the Colts could not run on them, and they sure as hell didn't. In the second half, they did, but in the first half, man, the very first drive, the Colts just walked down. It was like the Eagles were standing still. They just blew the fucking socks off in the first drive, and I was like, oh god, here we go. Jonathan Taylor's going to have a huge day, and then they kind of shored it up a little bit, but I think Jonathan Taylor's utilization moving forward is very good. I mean, he's the guy in this offense. All right, if they're going to do pretty good, they got to get Jonathan Taylor going. So,
he's JT, baby. He's JT. I mean, I was expecting this today, but I mean, it's still kind of moderate. I thought he would have gone over the century mark. I thought he would have had at least 100 rushing yards, but is what it is. The Eagles did their thing.
I do think with Dallas Goedert being out, a majority of his targets are more of a Devontae Smith area. So I think that Devontae Smith's target share is going to take a big uptick here moving forward. Obviously AJ Brown's still going to get his, but Devontae Smith, he looked really good, man. He made a couple of really good catches from Jalen Hurts, some balls that weren't so crisp. So yeah, I think moving forward, Devontae Smith might actually be a little closer to AJ Brown with the target share than it has been this far in the season.
Sorry, I just saw Mike Williams make a really nice catch, so I got excited. Eckler down at the 1 or the 2, it looks like.
At the 2, I think, yeah.
Can we get the touchdown to Mike Williams, please? Super frustrating. No, Taylor's going to be a big focus there. I love Devonta Smith, like you mentioned, as the kind of fill-in for the Goddard volume. Quez Watkins, you're a bastard. Stealing that touchdown is what it is.
Oh, God. I thought that was Devontae Smith. It looked like him at first. I was like, oh, yeah, here we go. It's a fucking
we got to just got to survive those roster cloggers. They're going to come into play for sure. I would still bet you that one of those tight ends is going to score a random touchdown that's going to frustrate us here and there as well. Really, the biggest concern for me on this one was Miles Sanders. I kind of mentioned it already. Going to be starting him going forward, but it's just not boding the same confidence that he was offering through the start of the season. So definitely something, you want to kind of monitor, a situation you want to follow going forward, just to see if you have some opportunities to pivot off of him. I think the nice thing to see is that they didn't really give any of the other guys that many carries. It was more just so the Jalen Hurts type of game. So I think we can kind of chalk it up to that. And Sanders should have some better weeks going forward.
Yep.
All right, what we got left here? Got a couple games left. You want to hit the Thanksgiving free roll? Let the fans know about it.
Sure, yeah, of course. So Thanksgiving free roll. If you like Super Bowl squares, you're going to love what we have for our DGens on Thanksgiving. Our friends at Play Action Pools have set up with us a football bingo contest for Thursday slate. It's simple to join and free to play in the SGPN app. Once you enter, you'll see your unique bingo card on the screen. Whenever a touchdown is scored on Thursday, check your card to see if you have that player. If you do, check the box. And if you get bingo, you'll win $100 cash and $100 SGPN merch store gift card, which if you guys haven't visited yet, there's a shit ton of good stuff in there. Christmas sweaters, there's some Christmas ornaments. There's a bunch of Sunday edition t-shirts with your favorite team's slogan underneath the SGPN logo. So, get on there, do some shopping. But yeah, go onto the SGPN app once again and download so you can come join us free on Thursday for the Thanksgiving free roll.
Gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah.
Always love me some Thanksgiving football.
Oh, it's the best, man.
The best. Browns and the Bills. Jacoby Brissett, like where the hell did he come from? We had him for an interception today. That didn't pan out.
Yeah, man. And again, like he a couple times very close, and I'm like, oh, no, it wasn't. He threw 41 times. How the hell do you throw 41 times against the Bills and not throw an interception? It's just, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. Josh Allen, I don't know what's going on there, man. Did he have a fumble in this game?
Honestly, not sure.
Didn't have an interception, but man, I felt like the total that I got from him was so low.
It
was worse than
low.
Marcus Mariota, who I didn't start. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it was low.
What are we thinking about James Cook here? I mean, had the same amount of rushing yards as Devin Singletary with 7 less touches, had a big explosive run for 29 yards, but is this something that we can trust going forward here? I mean, we did say Devin Singletary was going to score a touchdown today. Underdog wouldn't give us the prop, but we did call that 18 for 86 and a tutty for him. I love for James Cook going forward.
I don't think that you really want to start him because this was like his best game. But I do think he should be rostered in every single league. You know, he's definitely, if Devin Singletary goes down, this is a potential league winner. You know, insert and play immediately if Devin Singletary goes down at all. So I definitely think he should be on all rosters. Not sure you want to actually start him yet. But yeah, so he should definitely be on the rosters though, for sure.
They kicked a field goal. It's terrible.
Yep.
What are you guys doing?
In this game on the Bills, though, Dawson Knox, man, very, very much an uptick in targets. 7 for 70 was awesome to see. I obviously
on my bench.
You can't count on it moving forward, at all. Obviously, it's just up and down with the Bills. Who's going to get, who's going to be really good? Obviously, Steph Diggs gets his 4 for 48 and a touchdown for Diggs. And it was funny, like he was wide open in the end zone for that touchdown. Like nobody even around him. Nobody. It's just crazy. How do you let the wide receiver one on a good team just wide open in the end zone?
Well, we called it. We picked out that one as well. We should have just gone with the touchdown ones like we had mentioned.
Yeah, shit.
But they also didn't have as many either.
No.
So I started Trey McBride over Dawson Knox. So devil's still in the details. We'll see what Trey does. But I mean, I just don't think I can trust him still going forward, Dawson Knox.
No, it's hard to. Yeah.
Pretty much the equivalent of like a big touchdown game, right? I mean, the 7 catches are there, 70 receiving yards is nice. I just don't think it's going to be the case going forward. We had talked about Gabe Davis earlier, like him or Cortland Sutton. I still like Davis more so going forward. Had similar production to Cortland Sutton today, and what I still consider kind of a down week for the passing game because you saw 7 catches go to Dawson Knox. Still like seeing Devin Singletary included a little bit in the passing game. Didn't see any of the other running backs included into that group. So I think that's, promising for him going forward. And man, Amari Cooper and DPJ just continue to stay relevant somehow. I have to imagine their stock is going to continue to increase with Deshaun Watson returning soon here.
Yeah. Do you think Deshaun Watson gets off to a pretty slow start?
Maybe.
I mean, he didn't look good in the preseason when he did play. Again, I know it's preseason and all that shit, but he did not look good.
I don't know. I also feel like if it's not working, they'll probably go back to Brissett. But at the same time, like they're paying him a lot of money. He's available now, and they're 3-7, not going to the playoffs most likely. It may just be his tryout. It might just be like, hey man, go out there and just start ripping and riding.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, Amari Cooper, man, he's up and down a little bit. I don't think that you're not starting him, but he's hard to trust. I mean, don't be surprised if you get some weeks that he gets 4 for 48, something of that nature. Like he's not lights out awesome by any means, but
I started him in one league this week. I never feel good about it.
Yep.
Like going into that week, I never feel good about it. I'm gonna win that matchup. I mean, it definitely helps when he puts up. This league the scoring is dumb. He put up like 36.3. Like, what? Yeah, I know. It's like, it's ridiculous. Was it David Long had 9 tackles. He had 19.5 points. Like you get like you get like 2 points for breathing on a guy, it's like, it's ridiculous. But whatever, I'll win that week. And I started Taylor Heineke in that league over Aaron Rodgers, actually.
Oh, geez. I do want to point one thing out. Nick Chubb, again, like not having a very awesome.
What's that all about?
You know, I pointed this out weeks ago, and people were like, "You're out of your fucking mind." Like I was like, Nick Chubb's end of the year schedule is not very favorable. Like he's gonna have times when he has, you know, when he gets some lumps here, and
Mhm.
it's showing, and it just is what it is. Oh no, Kadarius Toney's questionable return. Oh Jesus. Oh,
Why does this
not
have to keep happening to me? Like, why do I
not
have to
great.
keep losing players week after week? Joe Mixon, Kadarius Toney. Like, why does this have to keep
Mm,
happening?
interesting. That
And he has
sucks.
0 catches on 2 targets. Kadarius Toney as well.
Hey,
I
you
s-
know what? I'll take some MVS though. You know, I do have that on that best ball team that I'm doing really well in. I'll take some MVS if at all possible, please.
I started some Justin Watson. He's 2 for 42.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's a good start.
you know.
Any I know you can't not play Chubb, but are you worried about Chubb a little bit?
Yeah, of course you are. I mean, to the point that you had mentioned the schedule and just to the production that we've seen from him recently. I mean, it doesn't combine, again, to build up a lot of confidence for you, going forward on him. The only place that you're going to be able to pivot off of him is, like 10 team leagues,
Yeah.
In those type of situations, you will probably have some depth or flex options where you can potentially bench him. But I feel like you try to get cute like that, you're just going to get caught with your pants down. He's
Mhm.
going to score 2 touchdowns. He's going to have a big week. You know what I mean? If anything, I like it for the fact that, next week or the week after or some week where people aren't high on him, we pick him up in like DFS or battle royales or something. And, he's profitable for us.
Yep.
Buy the dip. Last one up here, we got the Bears and Atlanta. The Bears can't catch a win to save their life. Now 3-8 on the season. Like I just don't understand. Any update on the Justin Fields injury? I know that you were
I
concerned
did
about
not.
that right away.
I'm fully tilted on that because again, you know, he's on that best ball team I got that's really good, and I'm like, man, when I saw that, because again, I didn't. I was paying attention to all the games on here with all these TVs, and I saw the game end, but I didn't see
Mhm.
them cart him off. And then all of a sudden, I get this sleeper notification that they carted off Justin Fields and he's holding his left shoulder. And again, non-throwing,
Damn.
completely understand. But if it's bad enough, they're not going to let him play. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I'm on full tilt. I have not seen any updates since
Mhm.
about that, so I'm not sure what to do about that. I really hope there's good news moving forward because Justin Fields is awesome right now. Like he is just
God mode.
performing so well. And I mean, again, as a passer, he's in the middle. You know, he's not terrible, but he's way better than he was at the beginning of the season.
He's still lacking a weapon, like a real weapon. He is lacking that still. And hopefully the Bears get right this offseason and go out and spend on that, whether they need to give
DJ
up.
Moore.
I know. I know, dude.
That,
Like I
that would
keep
be
saying, like
perfect.
at the deadline, it would have been just a home run, and he would just fit right into what they're doing right now with all of the deceptive play calling, the quarterback direct runs. Like Fields led the team in carries. Like we were like, oh yeah, Monty, that usage is going to go up. No Herbert. No, they gave more carries to Fields. 18. He led the team 18 for 85 and a touchdown. Montgomery, not bad, but the efficiency is still not there. 17 for 67, did find pay dirt, and he was second in the team. I was about to say led the team. He led the team in receiving yards with 54. Great to see, because when we've seen him get more opportunity in years past, it's been in the passing. It's been in the passing game, right? When Tariq Cohen got hurt, he got more opportunities. This year with Herbert hurt, feels like it's going to be the same thing. So like that upside going forward, if you can still make a deal for him in like a dynasty format, trade deadline still open, definitely a target that I want to try and pursue. I don't think he's going to be out of this world expensive. Pitts led the team, 3 catches, 43
Yeah,
yards.
and he got hurt.
Did what?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know him. I don't know him anywhere, but that sucks. I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Pitts left. I think at the beginning of the third quarter. He
All
never
right.
returned.
So what wide receiver are we starting then? Because there's an extra 3 catches to go around in a team where no one's really catching a lot of balls.
You think so? So Drake London's actually had 2 good games in a row, or 2 decent games in a row.
This
You
is
think
not a good game. This is a lucky game.
Yes, but some people may need a little bit of luck on their roster. You think he's at all viable moving forward? At all?
I mean, I have to imagine if Pitts is somehow out, then he would be. But no, I don't want to start him. I do not want to start. Damiere Byrd, 2 for 29. Michael Pruitt, 1 for 17. Kadarrell Hodge, 1 for 13. Olamide Zaccheaus, 1 for 9. Tyler Algier, 1 for 9. Cordell Patterson, 2 for 7. Caleb Huntley, 1 for 2. Drake London, 1 for 2. But he found the end zone. Like, no, thank you. How many names is that? What was that? 9? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9, 10 if you include Pitts. even if you take Pitts out of the lineup next week, Marcus Mariota is going to be targeting 7 or 8 other dudes. It's not going to work out. Like, no, I don't trust him at all. I mean, if you can pivot off of him somehow because he scored a touchdown on a 2-yard catch, I'm all for it. Let's go. Mount up.
Yeah, I turned him and Romeo Doubs 2 weeks ago into Amon St. Brown.
My man.
Amazing about that.
My man. Sleeping good at night. Sleeping good at hoping Fields is going to be fine. It's his non-throwing arm, so let's hope for the best. But if he gets shut down, sorry, bud.
Yeah. Cole Kmet, you think starter moving forward?
It's
I feel like you have to, right?
Is it 3 for 35? I mean, no touchdowns. Mooney dropped another touchdown. He could have had a bigger day. He dropped a wide open touchdown. You're not going to trust any of these receivers. I trust David Montgomery to catch passes. I trust him to have reliable production because I know he's going to get somewhere between 15 to 20 touches almost at a guaranteed rate. Kmet, Mooney, you're talking about anywhere from 4 to 7 catches at best. You need a touchdown. You're not going to know which one of them is going to get it.
It's true. Yeah, I had to start moving in 2 leagues this week, and thank God he had a touchdown. But yeah, I did see he dropped that one. I was like, "Fuck!" Oh, that would have been so nice.
It was not good. Where are we at here? This game's at halftime. Or are they about to kick off again?
Oh no, I think it's at half now. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. You got anything to share before we head out?
No, I don't think so. We're gonna have some Underdog Battle Royale stuff coming out this week. I'll be bringing out my first article, so it's always awesome. No, but yeah, I mean, everyone just go download the SGPN app. Make sure you get signed up, create your account, get logged in for the Thursday Thanksgiving free roll. We do a bunch of contests on there. They're currently doing a contest for the World Cup. Obviously, they do March Madness contest. So get in there so you have the opportunity to potentially win some free money.
Yep, absolutely. Follow Andrew on Twitter at arob23. You can follow me at SGPNJB, and you can follow the SGPN Fantasy Football crew at SGPN Fantasy on Twitter. Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.